Hi everyone, welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. So today I'm going to bring back what I'm going to consider an oldie but goodie recipe. And I say that because it's one of the most watched videos, and I've been doing this now for 3 years. At least 3 years, it's probably a little over 3 years. And this is still a favorite. So I thought I would bring it up to date a little bit with some things that you can add. And different people have often offered their own additions to it. So make it yours. I always say, someone says, can you add this? Can you add that? Absolutely. Add whatever you want to add. This is really, again, the theme around my video is simple, delicious, healthier recipes. So that's how I want you to look at this. And some of the tweaks here are really because I started doing keto and I started swapping out some things. So you can start with any ground meat, be it ground turkey, ground chicken, ground beef. I don't eat beef, but I do eat ground turkey and ground chicken. I found that using ground turkey is great. And what you want to do is make sure you don't get the kind that's very lean. So get the 85% versus the 90%, okay, when you talk about leanness. So this is like 1 1/4 pound of ground meat. To that, you're gonna see that I've cut up bell peppers. You can use red, yellow, green, whatever you want. You can mix it up if you want. So I usually add my bell peppers to the recipe. To that, I also add chopped onions, which you see here. And then one of the other things that I've started adding, so sometimes people use croutons, breadcrumbs. I have grounded pork rinds. So for my keto friends who can use pork rind because you're trying to stay away from the carbs, this is wonderful. Now you're probably saying, Shelley, well, how did you get ground pork rinds? Do you buy it that way? No. I buy the regular pork rinds. And if you see here, my Vitamix machine in the back, I put it on the first setting. I don't even rotate the dial, and I just chop it. And this is what it produces, this nicely fine ground kind of chunky, a little chunky pork rind mixture. So I'm going to add that. Again, it's as opposed to adding breadcrumbs or croutons, which some people add. And then the last thing, in addition to the spices, and then we're going to add some ketchup, is then I add 1 egg, okay? And we're going to just go on and add some of the salt. And for those of you, you know, I usually just kind of know, I'm going to say you're going to use at least about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then same with the pepper. I think for me, I'm just kind of looking at it. I kind of know how much I need. And actually, this is not enough. It's like I'm going to be here all day shaking this. All right, that looks pretty good. Then one of my secret ingredients is, many of you know with my original show that I had ketchup on the top. And some people use different things to cover it. So I do use ketchup, but I also put a little ketchup in the inside. So this is going to come out to be, for those needing measurements, it's going to be about 2 tablespoons of ketchup. And now what we're going to do is we're going to mix it all together here. And then I'm going to transfer it to the pan that you see here to my left. And I will use my hands to pat it down to make sure that it forms a nice little loaf. Okay, so make sure I've got it mixed really, really, really well, like so. It looks so good. And I'm just looking at this and I'm looking and saying, I need a little bit more ketchup. So the thing is that you're not really trying to get ketchup all to make it really red, but so I'm going to say 3 tablespoons of ketchup, okay? Let's mix this extra little bit here together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to transfer it to the pan And guess what? We're gonna cover it with more ketchup. And again, you're probably saying, I thought this is keto friendly. I know, ketchup is not keto, but there are some other alternatives out there. But at least I'm giving you a flavorful way to bring this to life by adding the pork rinds, okay? All right, so now we're gonna pour this in here, and then I'm going to just form it with my hands into a loaf, like so. Get all of it. We don't want to waste any of this meat. All right, so now that we have all that out, okay, get this out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to massage it, and I'll lift it up because you should be able to see it once I lift it up, because I want you to see how I have actually put the ketchup on it. So, and I am going to need to rinse my hands before I touch that bottle again, because we don't want cross-contamination of any sorts, right? Okay, so that is nicely done. I can show you this so far. If you kind of take a look at how that looks, and then we're just going to basically put ketchup over all of it. So before I do that though, let me go on and wash my hands. I get my soap. So I know I'm coming out of camera a little bit, and I've got a paper towel over here already, so that's pretty awesome. All right, let me make sure to pull this water off. I can see the steam. All right, get those hands. I'm really particular about that. So one of the things I will do is once I finish, I will definitely be cleaning out the sink really well, making sure there's no contamination of any sorts. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the ketchup, and basically we are just, and I'm gonna show this to you, I'm just going back and forth across the meatloaf because I do want it covered. And one other little trick is I don't put the full amount on. I usually about halfway. So you're gonna, after you cook it a little bit, and then once you see that this is kind of baked in, then I add a little bit more ketchup to the top, okay? So I'm gonna lift this up so you can at least see about the amount of ketchup that I've put on this. So hopefully you've got a good view of that. And all we're going to do now is we are gonna put the lid on it because we want it to cook through and through. And then after that, as I said, I'm gonna check on it. I'm gonna check on it in about 20 minutes, and then I will add more ketchup and I'll take the lid off so that I can make sure that this gets golden. So let's go on, put in the oven. Again, I won't come back at 20 minutes. I'll just, you'll know, check it at 20 minutes, but I'll come back when it's completely done. All right, let's put it in the oven. Okay, folks, so this has been in the oven a total of about an hour and a half. Again, as I always say, you know, it's your oven. It may take longer. It may take a little less time. I cooked it on 350. If you cook it on 375, definitely will take less time. So as I said I would do, I went to the oven, took it out, and I put more ketchup on the top. And that was just at about the 35 minute mark. So then I put it back in the oven for the remainder of the time. So I'm gonna hopefully let you get to see what I've done here in terms of how it looks. It's divine, it's delicious. And the other thing I did was when I took it out at about the 30-minute mark, I noticed that there was quite a bit of juice in there. I removed some of it. You don't want to remove all of it because remember, it's going to still need to cook. So that's one thing you want to be careful of. So I have sliced a piece already, and I'm going to take it out because I want you to see just how fabulous that looks. So I'm gonna, here, let's just get this out of the way. Move this over to the side because it's very hot. And then I'm gonna hopefully allow you to get a good view of it. So here is, you can hopefully see the inside of it. and all those beautiful colors. You see, probably not the onions, but definitely the bell peppers. And I guess what I want you to call your attention to is just kind of the consistency. It's still nice and moist. And part of that, again, the egg as well as the ketchup. And then just brown enough, okay? So this is still really hot, but we're going to take a good bite of it. This is perfect. This is perfect. So it's not dried out in any way, and it's just delicious. I will admit that I usually like having this with a piece of bread. It just, I don't know, something about it. But one more bite. So good. Well, I hope you enjoy making your meatloaf with a little addition to it. And as I said, make it your own. There's something else you want to add to it, go for it. It's your meatloaf. So thanks again for tuning in. If you've not subscribed, please click on the circle with my picture, subscribe. I come out with a new video every other week. Simple, delicious, healthier recipes for people on the go. Hopefully this will give you an opportunity to eat healthier and also save some money because you're cooking at home. And right now, it seems like everyone around the world is cooking at home. So thanks again. Bye. Happy cooking.